Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Deep Dive. I am Professor Paulo.
And I am Professor Mariana. We are so excited to be here with you this morning.
We really are. It is Monday, April 20th, 2026. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, because today we are diving deep into the class notes for the English Conversations course.
Exactly. And specifically, we are looking at the fabulous work from Group T243.
Yes. So Nguyen and Ana Paula, a huge, warm shout-out to both of you. This one is entirely for you.
It is. And, for anyone just tuning in, this analysis is brought to you by AcademiaBSB, which is it's an innovative online school with a really beautiful, empowering mission.
Right, helping adult women learn English remotely.
Exactly, because, we know that the reality of a Brazilian woman's daily life is just a masterclass in multitasking, right? You're balancing careers, family, personal goals.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot. And that's why the school uses an original methodology and these custom digital platforms, right, to fit seamlessly into that vibrant, demanding routine. So true. The language really has to adapt to your life, not the other way around.
Well said. And speaking of adaptation, let's do a quick level check on our students today.
Let's do it.
So, Nguyen and Ana Paula, you are currently navigating the BU1 level materials of the Common European Framework of Reference.
Which is fantastic.
It really is. It's thrilling to see how you're cementing these foundational skills. You are firmly on the path to fully mastering the A2 level.
Oh, for sure. You can, practically feel the dedication in these notes. And we have a really relaxing but informative agenda today.
Yes, we do. Give us the rundown.
Well, first up is a pronunciation tune-up. Then, a genuinely fascinating reading on the surprising history of Chinese-American food.
Oh, I love that part.
Right. After that, we'll analyze your writing exercises about your personal and professional journeys. And, of course, we'll wrap up with the gamification rewards.
The famous stars, I can't wait. So let's just jump right into it, starting with the physical mechanics, the pronunciation guidance from section 2.1.
Okay, let's get into it.
I always think of this section as sort of like the warm-up stretch for your vocal cords.
I love that analogy. It's so accurate.
Yeah.
Because, learning the pronunciation of a new language, it actually requires us to consciously interrupt our physical habits.
It's like learning a new dance step or a new yoga pose.
Exactly. At first, you have to think about exactly where to put your feet, or in this case, your tongue and your teeth. But, through repetition, it just becomes natural muscle memory.
So true. So let's execute the specific drill from the notes.
Right. So the method here is we read the target word, we provide a contextual sentence, and then we restate the word at the end to really lock in that sound.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, here's the first one. Cultures. Different cultures have come to America.
Nice. It's so clear.
Thank you. Okay, the next one is a bit tricky. Abandoned. The Chinese have abandoned much of their traditional clothing. Abandoned.
Wait, I actually want to pause on that word. Abandoned. Because I see this trip up so many learners.
Oh, definitely. The ed suffix.
Yeah. For adult Brazilian learners, that ed suffix is often a massive hurdle. Why is it so physically difficult to just, drop that final vowel sound?
That is such a brilliant question. And, well, it really comes down to phonological interference.
Right. Because in Portuguese, almost every syllable ends in a vowel.
Precisely. Your brain has literally mapped this rhythmic pattern over decades. So when an English word ends in a heavy consonant cluster, like the end in abandoned, the brain kind of panics a little bit.
It totally does. It tries to add a phantom vowel, right? Like an E sound at the end, just to make it feel safe.
Exactly. They are fighting years of neurological wiring. So you really have to force the mouth to close on the consonant.
Yeah, you have to embrace the discomfort. Okay, what's the last word for the drill?
Here it is. Landscape. Chinese restaurants are omnipresent on the American landscape. Landscape.
Oh, beautifully done. And, looking at the performance tracking for this specific drill, the improvement is amazing.
Oh, it really is.
Like in the past class data, there was a significantly higher number of those phantom vowel errors. But looking at the current class, your performance is near flawless.
Which is just empirical proof that the dedication to reviewing the notes is paying off.
Yeah.
You're quite literally rewiring your vocal apparatus.
It takes incredible resilience. And, speaking of resilience, that brings us right into section 6, the reading portion of the class notes.
Ah, yes. Titled, Creating Chinese-American Food.
It is such a remarkable story.
It really is. The text basically frames America as a melting pot, built on these overlapping waves of immigration. And it talks about the arrival of Chinese immigrants during the gold rush.
Right, and later, the railroad boom.
Exactly. But then it explains how severe racism and a complete lack of standard jobs forced many of these immigrants to become entrepreneurs just to survive.
Right, because the host culture was deeply hostile, so they opened their own hand-washing laundries and small restaurants.
Yes. And here's where the culinary adaptation happens. They had to adapt their food to the American palate.
Because the locals wouldn't eat traditional Southern Chinese flavor profiles.
Exactly. So the cooks brilliantly started adding ingredients that were cheap and common in America, things like broccoli, carrots, onions, and a lot of meat.
Oh yeah, the meat portion shift was massive
Yeah.
because meat was abundant there.
Right. And eventually this tactical adaptation birthed world-famous dishes like General Tso's chicken and chop suey.
You know, it strikes me that adapting a family recipe is a lot like translating a language.
Oh, wow. How so?
Well, I mean, you have a core message, right? A
Yeah.
cultural identity. But you have to use the ingredients or the vocabulary that your audience actually understands.
That is a beautiful analogy. If you use ingredients they don't recognize, they reject the dish.
Exactly. And if you use vocabulary they don't know, the communication fails. You just have to build a bridge out of whatever materials you have.
That is so true. And, looking at this text, there is a distinctly female perspective that I think goes unwritten.
I love that you brought that up. Tell me more.
Well, the text talks about cooks and immigrants in general. But if we infer the daily reality of these family-run laundries and restaurants, who was likely managing that chaotic intersection?
It had to be the women, the immigrant women.
Without a doubt. They were the ones keeping these family restaurant kitchens running, balancing their traditional heritage while navigating a completely new, often hostile culture.
They were the invisible backbone of the entire operation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Passing down traditions while innovating daily to survive.
Which is incredibly inspiring. Okay, so since we are moving through so much heavy, wonderful information, let's do a classic morning show pivot.
I like the sound of that.
I am officially calling a mental commercial break.
Yes. Everybody take a sip of your coffee, stretch your arms, just get totally cozy.
Just a quick reset, deep breath.
And we are back.
Welcome back. Okay, coming out of the break, I actually have a lighthearted anecdote for you regarding Chinese-American food.
Oh, I am ready. What is it?
So, we all know fortune cookies, right? They are practically synonymous with Chinese takeout all over the world.
Oh, absolutely. It's the best part of the meal.
Well, the irony is they were actually popularized in California by Japanese immigrants.
Wait, really? By Japanese immigrants?
Yes. They are virtually unknown in mainland China. It's a complete cultural crossover invention.
That is so wild. I mean, it perfectly illustrates the whole concept of adaptation we were just talking about.
It really does. So just to recap our journey so far this morning.
Right. So far, we have gone from mastering the physical mechanics of vocal sounds, like battling phantom vowels, all the way to understanding the incredible survival adaptations of immigrant cuisine.
It is a profound journey. And that perfectly sets us up for Section 7, writing and composition, because now we're talking about how our students tell their own stories.
I love this section. The goal of this writing task was to craft a 150 to 200-word travel magazine-style narrative.
Very cool format.
Yeah, describing their personal and professional journeys. And they had to specifically use the simple past, the present perfect, and irregular verbs.
Which is such a relevant exercise for adult Brazilian women, right?
Yeah.
Trying to articulate the juggle of careers, motherhood, and personal goals.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of the author Brené Brown. You know, she talks so much about vulnerability, and she has this philosophy that owning your story is the bravest thing you will ever do.
Oh, I love her work. And it's so true. Writing your journey in English is a way of owning it on a global scale.
Exactly. So let's look at Nguyen's draft first.
Okay, yes. So Nguyen is 33, child-free, and she describes a weekend that was basically a study in contrasts.
Yeah, she wrote about having this really relaxing time tending to her plants, visiting an exhibition, swimming.
But then she balances that with the reality of adulting. She mentions a hospital visit and having to work from home on a holiday.
Yeah, life is never just one thing, is it? She used the simple past so effectively to bound those completed events.
She really did.
Yeah.
And then we have Anna Paula's draft.
Right. Now, Anna Paula is a mother of 2 boys living in the countryside of Minas Gerais.
A beautiful region. And she wrote about balancing her work with her hobbies, like running and rollerblading.
And her dream of traveling the world.
Yes. and her use of the present perfect was stellar.
It was. You know, the present perfect connects past actions to present results. Like, I have taken opportunities. It means the door is still open.
Exactly. It's the tense of an ongoing journey, which fits her narrative perfectly.
I completely agree. And I also wanted to mention the teacher's enhancement insights from the notes.
Oh, yes. The teacher suggested adding transitional phrases.
Right. Things like so far along the way and as a result, it really elevates the sophistication of the writing, doesn't it?
It drastically elevates it, because without transitions, you just have a list of facts. But when you add as a result, you create causality. It makes the writing flow like a real executive narrative.
It turns a timeline into a story. I actually want to propose a quick challenge for the students.
Oh, I love a challenge. Let's hear it.
Let's incorporate today's vocabulary from the reading into their texts. And Paula, since you are balancing so much, you could write, my challenges have contributed to my growth.
Oh, using contributed. That is so sharp.
Right. And Nguyen, you could write, I have adapted to new professional landscapes.
Landscapes. Taking a word used for geography and applying it to a career. That is next level fluency.
It really is. Okay, heading into the final touches of our deep dive today, I just have to say the overall performance from both Nguyen and Ana Paula is outstanding.
It genuinely is. Individually and as a group, you two are doing incredible work.
Absolutely. You are firmly on the right track to hitting those CEFRL A2 goals. Just keep reviewing those notes.
And speaking of reviewing, make sure you check out the bibliographic references link in your notes.
Ah, yes, the supplementary reading.
Yes, it touches on Mesa Verde or Green Table, which is a national park in Colorado.
And without giving too much away, why should an English student in Brazil care about a park in Colorado?
Well, it explores the ancient indigenous cultures of the Americas. It is all about how sophisticated societies adapted to extreme landscapes.
Ah, there's that theme of adaptation again.
Exactly. Building that broader cultural fluency is just as important as mastering the grammar.
Oh, for sure. Gives you something fascinating to talk about once you have the vocabulary. And speaking of grammar, let's take a peek at the upcoming linguistic scope.
Ooh, what's coming up next week?
Well, next week we are unlocking a grammatical secret that totally changes how we talk about the past.
Okay, I am intrigued.
But what happens when the past isn't actually finished?
Oh, a cliffhanger.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will have to join us next class to find out.
I will definitely be there. But before we wrap up completely, we have to talk about my favorite part.
Gamification time.
Yes, the gamification intermission. Because AcademiaBSB loves to reward hard work.
We really do. The Estrelinas are iconic.
They are. For those who don't know, gamification points, or estrelinas, are awarded for every activity done during class, off class, or even as homework.
It is such a great system. It attaches right to your user profile.
Exactly, and it helps students climb the rank ladder to compete.
Which is fun, but the prizes are the best part.
Oh, absolutely. With enough points, you're entered into monthly giveaways for school products, books, pencil cases, mugs, T-shirts.
And you can even use points to pay for courses. It literally pays to study.
Okay, drum roll, please.
Let's look at the stars won today. 17.
Wow, 17 stars.
That is incredible. Norianne, Ana Paula, warmly congratulating you both on this amazing achievement. 17 points is huge.
It really is a testament to your hard work today.
Definitely. Well, as we start to close out the show, my brilliant co-host, do you have a final thought for us?
I do. I want to gracefully transition to the end by quoting from international English literature, because it ties so perfectly into the theme of personal journeys.
I am all ears.
Have you read Maya Angelou's autobiographical masterpiece, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings? It was published in 1969.
Oh, it is an absolute classic.
It is. And the critical context of Angelou's work is that it's the ultimate testament to the power of finding one's own voice through a very difficult journey.
Which resonates so deeply with what we do here.
Exactly. Finding your voice is exactly what Nguyen and Ana Paula are doing by learning English. They are unlocking the ability to tell their own stories to the world.
That is so empowering, and it ties directly into AcademiaBSB's core philosophy.
It really does.
As our school motto says, it's not only about the language, it's all about communication.
A perfect reminder.
Truly. So here is a final provocative thought for you to explore on your own today. If the history of the food we eat and the stories we tell are fundamentally about adapting to survive,
Mhm.
what is one small thing in your own routine that you can adapt today to make your communication just a little bit stronger tomorrow?
Oh, I love that. Something to mull over with your next cup of coffee.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful week. Keep practicing those sounds, and we will see you next time.